To order. I will be your chairperson, Ryan Ansem, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. It's a pleasure to have our regional counterpart. I first want to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Julian Defoe, Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, with special responsibility for fisheries and the blue economy. Mr. Akia Seko, I hope I pronounced that right, Chief Advisory, JICA Coastal Fish Project. Dr. Sandra Grant, Deputy Executive Officer of the CRFME, and also our Chief Fisheries Officer, Derek Theophil. I also want to recognize all the regional counterparts, the Chief Fisheries Officer of the OECS and CARICOM further afield, and other staff, local staff of the Fisheries Division. Welcome all. Today is a very significant day as we come together to speak of coastal management. The ocean itself is a resource that we have to manage. For us in Dominica, we have developed sustainable fisheries plan aimed at protecting the coastal environment for two reasons. We believe that the ocean and the fisheries subsector can provide food and nutrition security, not only for Dominica, but for the region. I've been advised by the minister and my technical staff that the ocean itself is basically 10 times bigger than what the crop and livestock people boast of. So the ocean itself is a huge resource, and so we have to protect it to ensure it guarantees food and nutrition security, but more so protein security for our population. And secondly, we believe it provides the avenue for economic growth, livelihood, and employment. And so we in Dominica, we have done tremendous investment in ensuring that our fisher folks have larger and more resilient boats and better engine, and to improve our food safety at sea. And so part of it as well is how we work with our fisheries organization to provide that training in terms of governance and the management of our resources. So I am just the chairman. I think I've spoken too long. To give you formal welcome, I would want to invite the Chief Fisheries Officer, Derek Theophil, to welcome you. So let us make him feel welcome, please.
Thank you, PS. Good morning.
Good morning.
Honorable Julian Defoe, Minister of State for Fisheries and the Blue Economy in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. Mr. Ryan Ansem, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. Dr. Sandra Grant, Executive, Deputy Executive Director, things are just changing, at the Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism. Akia Seko, Chief Advisor of the Coast Fish Project. Staff of the Fisheries Division, friends, colleagues, fisher folk, many of you I know very well. Welcome to this Coast Fish Project Regional Seminar. It is my pleasure to address you today as we gather to explore the future of sustainable coastal fisheries in the Eastern Caribbean. Firstly, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the participants, speakers, and organizers who have made this seminar possible. Your dedication and commitment to the cause of sustainable fisheries are truly commendable. As we embark on this seminar, we have a unique opportunity to share knowledge, exchange ideas, and collaborate on innovative solutions that will benefit our coastal communities and the environment in our respective countries. The discussions and insights we gain here today will play a crucial role in shaping policies and practices that ensure the sustainability of our fisheries for generations to come. I encourage each of you to participate actively in the sessions, engage with the speakers, and contribute your valuable perspectives. Together, we can make a significant impact and pave the way for a brighter future for our coastal fisheries. The Japan-funded project for strengthening sustainable use and management of the coastal fisheries in the CARICOM countries, best known as the Coast Fish Project, is now at an end. But this point in time marks another beginning for us as we strive for development as large ocean island states. Remember, a strong community is one which works together. So, Coast Fish community, I look forward to working with you all over the next few days as we grow in strength. Thank you once again for being here, and I look forward to your productive and inspiring responses from the seminar. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Derek Theophile, for this warm welcome. At this time, I wish to call on Mr. Seko, JICA Project Advisor, to give you remarks. Let us make him feel welcome, please.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to JICA, Sierra FM, and counterparts and stakeholders from Antigua and Barbados, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and Grenadines. And especially Honorable Yuran Default, the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Blue Economy, with specific responsibility for fisheries and the blue economy, Mr. Ryan Anselm, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and the Green Economy, Mr. Derek Selford, the Chief Fisheries Officer of the Fisheries Division, and our counterparts and stakeholders from Dominica for hosting and supporting this seminar. This Coast Fish project officially commenced in August 2021 during the challenging time of the COVID-19 pandemic, which imposed significant restrictions for safety reasons, particularly the duration of activities in the 5 countries outside of St. Lucia, where the JICA office is located, had to be considerably shortened. Despite these circumstances, we believe that thanks to the dedicated efforts of everyone involved, we have achieved results that will pave the way for the future project. In this seminar, we aim to present the progress of activities carried out in each country, focusing on the co-management of coastal resources, which is the core concept of this project. We will discuss the achievement, challenges, and lessons learned. We believe that this seminar will provide an opportunity to exchange information among various countries. On behalf of the JICA Coast Fish Project, I hope this seminar will serve as a platform for you to further disseminate your knowledge and experience. Thank you for your attention, and we look forward for fruitful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Seko, and we take this opportunity to thank JICA. So please relay our gratitude and thanks to JICA, not only for the seminar, but the continuous investment in the region when we speak about fisheries development. So at this time, I want to invite the representative of the Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism. I realize I gave it an E in my opening remarks, but please welcome Dr. Sandra to give us remarks on behalf of CRFM. I got it right this time.
Yeah. So protocol has been established. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the beautiful island of Dominica. Firstly, the newly appointed Executive Director of the CRFM Secretariat, Dr. Thomas Mark Williams, sends his greetings to JICA, the ICNet team, and the workshop participants. He noted he started working officially, just to note that he started working officially at our new office in Belize City yesterday. So I am back to Deputy Executive Director. So while he was reflecting on the work that was done in St. Kitts and Nevis on the Carifico project, he commended JICA for the work being done nationally and regionally and wishes that we have an interactive and successful workshop here in Dominica. Also on Friday, we met with JICA's Belize office newly appointed resident representative, Mr. Takahiro Mahiria, and we told him I told him that I was coming here this week, and he sends his regards. He told us of the work that JICA is doing in Belize, and we told him about the strong collaboration between CRFM and JICA over the years, and notably the excellent work that JICA St. Lucia office is doing in fisheries at the OECS, for the OECS countries and the region. The CRFM thanks the government of Japan for their contribution to sustainable development of fisheries throughout the Caribbean. Now, over the years, they have been supporting the CRFM in achieving its vision of effective management, conservation, and sustainable use of fisheries and aquaculture resources to maximize social and economic benefits to the CRFM member states. Now let us journey back to 2009. It might be earlier, I'm young to the game. The CARICOM CRFM JICA Master Plan, 2009-2012. You remember the master plan? Right. That this was a study from the formulation of a master plan for sustainable use of fisheries resources for coastal community development in the Caribbean. And the project aims to propose options for a comprehensive resource management option in the Caribbean region that may include limited entry to coastal fisheries and diversification of the fisheries, etc. Remember the scope of work? Pelagic resources, aquaculture development, regional database, support to community-based management, and education and training to staff of the region. Then came Carifico, 2013-2018, which focused on the development of FADs among 6 OECS countries. And the purpose of that project was to develop sustainable approaches to fisheries co-management through the development of pilot projects for FAD, remember FAD, and today we observe the upscaling of FAD fishing throughout the Caribbean. I must also mention that CRFM and JICA have been involved in capacity building and technical cooperation assistance across the region, and this includes areas in quality assurance, fisheries product development, and others. So today, we are here for the completion workshop of the Coast Fish projects. And this project basically is the establishment of a framework in which local fisherfolk and their organization, fisheries authorities, and stakeholders working together to manage our resource. In spite of all the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic, the countries pushed forward, and we are here today to discuss the outcome of this project. When we review case studies and pilots from around the world, we have no doubt that co-management works. I remember the work of the authors Gentoff, Pickerton, Burkes, Pomeroy, and even our own Dr. David Brown from the CFU. We have heard, we have seen about the tremendous work being done in Japan and how successful that has been. And I am keen to hear about the pilots in the Caribbean and how they would add to the literature on co-management. So for the next 2 days, I'm looking forward to hearing about our collaborative approach to decision-making when managing fisheries in our region. But more importantly, how we can apply these principles to the CRFM ongoing projects, such as BCLME and the Biospace projects. Ladies and gentlemen, let us use the sharing circle effectively. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Grant. And we look forward for continued coordination of your organization across the region and strengthening our legislative framework as it relates to the fisheries sector. At this time, I want you to join me to introduce, I believe it's no stranger to you, the Minister, Honorable Julian Defoe, Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Blue Economy, with special responsibility for fisheries and the blue economy. We call him the maestro of fisheries, the advisor to Dominica on fisheries matters, and I believe he's a friend to you as well. And so it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Julian Defoe for him to deliver the future address. Thank you very much.
Good morning to all. I couldn't miss it. If you notice and you just take a look at my attire, I look like a man that is in transition. I'm actually heading to the airport. That I look at the time, I look at the schedule, and I had to find a way to make it work, to be here with family, people that transcend your mind. And I came in here to say, you're looking young, but you know, a relationship that transcends more than 2 decades, if you don't believe me. More than 2 decades. In some instance, 25 years of relationship of people in this room, some 20, some 10, some 5, but collectively, fisheries is a family. I know this is not the topic here, but I just want to say, you know, I wish it would continue that way as we were 20 years ago, and as we inherited from some stalwarts here, Mr. Andrew McGlaw, and he's still here with us. And we took on, and there are some others who we took on from them, developing that relationship, camaraderie in the fishery sector in the region. And I am sort of scared these days it is perhaps not what it used to be. So I'm just asking the younger generation who are there, please try and follow our footsteps and make fisheries a family, because more so in this world and in terms of harsh conservation measures and so on, we need collective action to make things work. I am always used to preparing work for others. These days I find it a bit difficult that others have to prepare work for me, and most times I go about and say my own things. But I have browsed through what was presented to me, and I like it, and I agree with it. And, so, you know, give people appreciation for their hard work, you know, and I will articulate what was prepared for me. As I said, not just reading it, but I agreed with what was given to me. So I don't have the salutation list, but if I could use Dr. Sandra's words that the protocol having been established, but of course we must recognize very in a special way our representatives from JICA office, St. Lucia, or Trinidad, wherever the various aspects they came from, long-standing partners in the development of fisheries in CARICOM, and most specifically in the OECS, which has transcended our fisheries from merely, you know, we are, in many cases some of us are still artisanal, but you have a higher tier of the artisanal sector where we can meet many of us today, certain food safety standards, amenities at our landing sites and so on. So they have been stalwarts, you know, entire development for us, and they continue to be so. They continue to be present in the region in a climate where development aid is very scarce, and where many developed nations are turning within to themselves to take care of their own, as we can see how the world is transcending. So it is very reassuring that we still have a partner in JICA and the government of Japan, and as we see their current initiatives ongoing in Dominica to provide us with further support. So I can give an entire speech outside of this speech. As I said, this is a problem that I have, so let me proceed. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, all well-wishers, fishers from Dominica and from the other parts of the region, our technicians. It gives me great pleasure to stand here today at this pivotal regional seminar under the Coast Fish Project. And I wish sometime maybe we should spell out the acronym for everybody, but right now I think we all should know. From our regional and international organizations, our dedicated fisher folks and friends. This project, the Project for Strengthening Sustainable Use and Management of the Coastal Fisheries Resource in the CARICOM countries, and the reason why I said about the acronym, because the acronym really doesn't spell out the name, funded by the government of Japan and expertly coordinated by the Caribbean Fisheries Mechanism, represents modern policy. It embodies partnership, purpose, and the power of people working together for sustainable progress. For Dominica, our participation in Coastfish has been nothing short of inspiring. For our pilot interventions in Portsmouth, Tukari, and even within the Fisheries Division itself, the test site in Jimit, we have seen how meaningful investment, guided by science and driven by community, can lead to tangible, sustainable change. We build and deploy artificial reef structures to enhance lobster habitats, structures crafted with the direct involvement of our local fisher folks. We saw formation and flourishing of a vibrant CMOS farmers group in Tukari, which recently celebrated its largest harvest yet, 400 pounds in February of 2025. I mean, St. Lucia may not be so excited, but it's a start for us. Thanks to improved techniques and material support. And importantly, we trained and empowered our people, fisher folk, vendors, processors, with skills in food handling, fish processing, CMOS cultivation, and co-management principles. This is not development from the top down. This is development with hands in sand, boots underground, and hearts in community. For those of us who are here, we all should be expert in co-management. We have witnessed in Dominica, and what our sister islands have also accomplished is a powerful testament to what we can achieve when we merge traditional knowledge, modern science, and inclusive governance. Our work has not only addressed ecological restoration, but from reefs to mangroves, but has also strengthened the social and institutional fabric needed to manage these resources for long term. I must highlight one particularly powerful aspect of this initiative, the promotion of co-management. The arrangement between the ministry and the St. John's Fisherfolk Cooperative to uphold the sanitation and management standards of the Portsmouth Fish Market is a beacon of what can be achieved when government and grassroots work hand in hand. Co-management is not just a technical term. It is a declaration of trust, of shared responsibility, of collective vision. Ladies and gentlemen, we know too well the vulnerabilities that come with being small island developing states. Our coastal shelves are narrow, our marine ecosystem fragile, and the twin threats of climate change and unsustainable land use press on our coastal resilience. But within these challenges lies opportunities to innovate, adapt, and lead. The Coastfish interventions, while seemingly modest in size, are monumental in impact. They advance our national objectives as outlined in the Climate Resilience and Recovery Plan, and this is a national policy that we have in Dominica, strengthening our communities, building our economy, preserving our environment, and deepening our collective consciousness of sustainability. Let me be clear, this is not the end. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy will continue to support and scale up the intervention introduced under Coastfish. We see their value, we see their potential, and we see the people behind them. To our partners, JICA, the government of Japan, the CRFM, other institutions, thank you to our fisher folk, which are the biggest stakeholders. You are the heartbeat of this sector, and we salute your resilience and your role in protecting our blue resource. To my colleagues across CARICOM, OECS, I encourage each of us to share, to learn, and to go forward together, guided by the principles of equity, sustainability, and regional solidarity. Together, let us ensure that our seas continue to feed us, sustain us, and unite us. In these few words, I would like to say thanks to everyone, and may God bless all of us.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. In a long time reading a speech, but we appreciate your words, and we take your advice. Sustainability and resilience should be our mantra as we seek to develop a sector that is very important. So again, let me thank the head table for their remarks and the future address. And at this time, I believe on your program, you have a coffee break. But before I close the official opening ceremony, I want to wish you well and welcome again to Dominica, the natural island of the Caribbean. Feel free to partake in our cuisine, our food, and I hope today we're having fish, Derek, for lunch. And so again, thank you again, and welcome, and I wish you a successful 2 days of seminar. And we look forward for your recommendation and your sharing of your best practices. And that is how we can grow a sector, sharing best practices, sharing the knowledge. Again, thank you, and good luck for your 2-day seminar. Thank you again. So I believe before your coffee break, it's not on the agenda, but we want to do a picture, a photo, to take advantage of the minister because he has to leave and I also have to leave. So let us do that quickly because the minister has to. I think it's outside on the terrace.
This was the official opening ceremony of project for strengthening sustainable use and management of coastal fisheries resources in the CARICOM countries. This live was once again brought to you by Emo News and Team Emo News. Thanks for viewing and thanks for joining.